Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I am DarkVadek, and this is a video about Battlefield 4. In particular, the use of mortars in Battlefield 4. Mortars are annoying, yes, can be seen usually by many people as annoying, but I think that they have also a great tactical potential to be used in a way that benefits the whole team and not in a way that's just seen as camping, even if there can be some of that, obviously, because it's mortar, so you don't have to get close. That's its advantage. But the main advantage that I see to it is not using it. The main way to use it, I think, is not as a way to kill the enemy, but as an area of denial weapon, and that means it can be used to create an area where the enemy won't be able to stand or any way to operate, right? And this is their main advantage. Then the number obviously should be limited. I'm thinking about 1 for a small server. I consider small servers between like 24 and 32 people. Those are small server. 2 mortars for team in medium servers. Then that's like, I think that 36 could be seen as medium, 48 is the standard medium, 50 is still, not a big server, it's still a medium server, I think, and maybe even 3 in big servers, although this is getting, 3 in 64 player servers starts to be a bit more conspicuous. I mean, a bit more numerical important, because it's like the 10% of your team that it's not actually being involved directly in the fight. It's not that you have to be involved directly in the fight. Also, a sniper spotting with MAV is extremely useful, even if he is not actually involved in the fight. But and again, so if the number is limited, and if they are used, I think, right, of how I consider them to be right, that can be very beneficial. Obviously, they are more useful in rush, where you have a tighter path, we can say. We have the enemy has to go from point A to point B. There are some exceptions, for example, the water rush maps. I don't know, I think that it's Lost Island maybe, starts out with like that, and in that situation a mortar is essentially not effective because boats move too quickly, essentially. But apart from that, generally in rush, because in Conquest the only situation where the mortar use can be maximized is when you are spawn camping, essentially, or base camping, if you prefer. Yeah, it's more accurate probably, because that's the only situation in which there is a condensed number of enemies in a single place. But we all know that base camping is wrong. It should be avoided from both sides. It's also particularly good against campers and vehicles. I'm thinking in rush, for example, in some rush maps there is the M-track. It not only carries the enemy, and it not only has an attack potential because it has the little grenade launcher turret, but also it spawns enemies. So even if I don't think that a single mortar can kill an M-track, but I think it can start doing the damage. Possibly it can slow it down with a critical hit or something of the same way, or simply it can panic the driver, or make so that less enemies spawn on it because they see it's being shelled and something like that. So even maybe it's not a more immediate ways to destroy the M-track, it doesn't have to be, because it's still, it's still better than shooting at it with an LMG, right? For example, it is obviously very, very helped If there is also a sniper with a MEV, that is the little flying, like, spotting and shooty stuff. Yeah, very trite explanation, I know. And honestly, the way it's used shouldn't be the same one that I personally did at the beginning, and I still see sometimes people doing. That is shooting the first like 3 or 4 shells, and then waiting there painfully in the mortar view, waiting for that single shell to recharge and be shot. Because honestly, it's not, one single shell is not useful alone, not very useful. Their usefulness increases enormously the more you use them, the more shells you have. So 3-4 shells can actually be important. One single shell is a lot more important, is a lot less important, I mean, than 1/4 of those 4 shells. I don't know if it's clear right now, but you know, possibly, hopefully it is. So the way I'm thinking about using it is shooting those first 3 or 4 shells, then instead of waiting, you know, and you don't even have to wait for the reticule to become pinpoint, with pinpoint accuracy again, because that's not what you're using. You're not using it on one single place where you know there is an enemy. I mean, it can be used like that, but again, we are trying to use it as an area of denial. So as soon as you can shoot it, you shoot it again, because you're not killing the single, it's not the single person, it's the zone, the area that should be hit, right? So my idea is you use this through 2, 3, 4 shells, then you take out the LMG. I suggest the LMG, or even a DMR could work, because this, I think, if you move like 3 meters away or something like that from your mortar, you should be still like not significantly far, but far enough from the actual battlefield to be used to use an LMG or a DMR effectively, and then even using a bipod possibly. So using this bipod, set it down and use one of the either one of the high hitting LMGs like the PKP or the M60, or one of those, I don't remember which, maybe it's a M240, the one with like those with 200 bullets that are a bit more, you know, less damage dealing, but you have less need to change the mag, so you know, that's where their benefit is. And then once you have done a bit of that, like if the enemies don't cross the part that you are checking, that could be like an MCOM, a corridor, some rocks on the side, for example, where you think that the enemy, or you know that the enemy will come. Once you have done that for a while, and like you need to reload, or you don't think that the enemies will cross again, you should switch back at that point to the mortars that could have like again 3, 4 shells, 2 even, it's still better than 1, and then start using, so alternating between the two, LMG or DMR, mortar, LMG, mortar, LMG, mortar. In that way, I think you can maximize your impact on the battlefield while still helping your teammates. That's pretty much it for this video, so I hope you agree. I think it's conceivable, let's say, as a way to use the mortar. Again, the number should be limited, because more than 3 is almost never beneficial, maybe in the case of a very tanky vehicle, but that's not even in that case, because the vehicle can usually move, so, you know. And also, it shouldn't be used as a way to kill, but more, again, as an area of denial effect, so essentially forcing the enemy to relocate, lose their position, lose their organization, lose their composure, and so on. And I think this is a good way in which a limited amount of mortars used effectively could actually be beneficial for the victory and for the team in general. this is my analysis of the use of mortars in Battlefield 4. Thank you all of you for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, consider subscribing, and let me know what you think, either on Reddit, you can write me on Twitter or anything like that. And I'll see you next time. Thank you again everybody for watching.